Okay, so here is the thing I wish somebody had told me 2 years ago. You do not need to pay a monthly subscription, not to have serious AI on your own machine.
None of it, not for chat, not for coding, not for images or video. There is a free, open model for basically every job now.
And the reasons go way beyond money. It is completely private. Nothing ever leaves your house. There are no usage limits, and a model you download can never be taken away. But here is the real mental shift. You stop thinking about one big AI. You start thinking about building yourself a library.
A toolbox, right? Like a mechanic. You don't own one wrench, you own the whole drawer.
That is exactly it. One model writes code. A different one makes images. Another one does video. One does 3D. You pull the right tool for each job.
So let us teach people how to build that drawer today, where the models come from, what your graphics card can handle, all of it.
And everything we name is current as of right now, July 2026. We checked it all live. No stale pics from a year ago.
Because this stuff moves fast, so where do you actually get these models?
The big one is Hugging Face. Think of it as the app store for OpenAI. Almost every model on Earth lives there, all free to download.
For chat and coding models, there is an even easier front door. It is called Ollama. You type Ollama run, then the model name, and it just goes.
Downloading anything else is basically one line in a terminal. You type HF download, then the model name. It pulls straight from Hugging Face onto your drive.
And for the image and art side, there's a site called Civitai. That is where the whole community shares image models and little add-ons.
On that image side, you will also keep hearing about LoRa files. Think of those as tiny add-ons. They teach a model one specific style or character, and they are only a few megabytes each.
Okay, so you know where the shop is. Now here is the one bit of jargon you have to understand, and it is honestly not scary, I promise.
It is a word called quantization. All it really means is squishing a model down, small enough to fit on a normal graphics card.
Think of it like a music file. You can have the giant studio master, or a smaller version that sounds almost identical, and takes 1/10 of the space.
Same idea for a model. The full version might need a data center, but the squished version runs happily on a card in your bedroom.
You will see these files labeled with codes, things like Q4 or Q8, bigger number, better quality, bigger file.
The sweet spot most people land on is called Q4KM. It fits well and still sounds smart. Make that your default pick.
One tiny extra tip, say you see two versions at the same size. One ends KM, one ends KS. The KM is usually the better pick for the same file.
You will also hear people say mixture of experts, or MOE for short. It just means a big model that only wakes up the part it needs. So it runs far lighter than its size suggests.
The format they come in is called GGUF. That is just the file type, like an MP3 but for AI models, one neat file.
Now, one real warning before you go download crazy. These files are big, and a library adds up frighteningly fast.
Oh, massively. A single chat model can be 4 to 8 gigs. Image models are a few gigs each. Do it for a month and you are looking at hundreds of gigs.
So, do yourself a favor. Buy a dedicated solid-state drive just for your models. It will fill it. Trust us on that one.
Last piece of setup, you need something to actually run the models in, and there are really only a few you need to know.
For chat and coding, the easiest by a mile is Ollama, or a lovely app called LM Studio if you want buttons instead of a terminal.
And for anything visual, images, video, 3D, everyone uses one thing. It is called ComfyUI. It is a node-based tool. Looks intimidating, but it is the standard.
And for the real tinkerers, there is llama.cpp. It is the raw engine under the hood of most of these apps, for when you want maximum control. So that is the whole setup. A place to get models, one word to understand, and an app to run them in. Now let us get to the fun part.
This is the part everyone actually wants. What can my specific graphics card run? Let us go tier by tier.
And we are sorting this purely by one number, the gigs of memory on your graphics card. That single number decides everything.
And if you would rather not work it out yourself, we built you a shortcut. It is up on our website, offthecloudai.com.
There is a model calculator on there. You type in the graphics card you have got, and it tells you exactly which models will fit on your setup. No guesswork.
Right, let us start lower than most guides do, because a lot of you are sitting on an 8 gig card.
And nearly every guide skips straight past you, which is daft, because 8 gigs is where most people actually start.
So be straight with us, what can it genuinely do?
More than you would think. But I want to give you the honest constraint first, because nobody else does.
Go on then, what is the catch?
You do not get all 8 gigs. Your system takes the better part of a gig before you start. Call it 7.5 usable.
And I'm guessing you cannot have 2 big things loaded at once.
One model at a time. That is the rule at this tier. Load your chat model or load your image model, not both.
Fair enough, so what goes on it? Chat first.
Qwen 3.5, the 4 billion one. 2.5 gigs squished, and it will happily run at a higher quality setting with room left over.
2.5 gigs, that is nothing at all.
And if you want more brains, the 9 billion version of the same family fits too, at the squished setting.
On 8 gigs, that surprises me.
It fits, and it holds a long conversation without falling over. On this tier, that is the one most people land on.
And pictures, I assume that is where it gets tight.
This is the good news, actually. Flux 2 Klein, the 4 billion one, is about 2.5 gigs squished. 4 steps to an image.
So proper modern image generation on an 8 gig card.
Proper modern image generation. The older SDXL models run here too, though you are right at the edge at full quality.
Do not tell me video works as well.
Short clips, yes. The small LTX video model runs comfortably at this tier. You are not making a film, but it moves.
And the quiet ones, transcription, that sort of thing.
All fine. Whisper runs happily here. And the little search models that read your own files are a few hundred megabytes.
So what is the honest summary of 8 gigs?
You can do every single category we are going to talk about tonight. Chat, images, video, transcription, search.
But there is a catch, is there not?
But one at a time, and always the squished version. It is a real setup, not a toy. It just asks you to be tidy.
And it costs you nothing because the card is already in the machine.
Already in the machine, which is the whole point of tonight.
So that is the floor. Bump up to a 12 gig card and things get a lot easier. The classic being the RTX 3060.
This card is far more capable than people think. On the chat side, your hero is a model called Llama 4, the 12 billion version.
It is from Google, it is genuinely smart, and it can even see images. It sits in about 7.5 gigs, loads of room to spare.
Want something a bit more focused? There is Qwen 3.5, the 9 billion one. A great little all-rounder that can code and reason.
And if you want a tiny fast helper for automated tasks, try Qwen 3.5. The 4 billion size, it absolutely flies on this card.
Care about maths and step-by-step reasoning? A Microsoft model called Phi 4 is shockingly sharp for its size, and it just about squeezes on.
Now for images, this is where the 12 gig card genuinely shines in 2026. One of the standouts is called Z Image Turbo.
This thing is almost unfair. 6 billion parameters, and it makes a picture in about 8 steps. Near instant. Get the squished version though, because the full one wants a bigger card.
There's also Flux 2 Klein, the 4 billion version. Squished down, it is under 3 gigs, and it still makes gorgeous images. On 12 gigs, image generation is basically solved.
The older favorites still shine here too. The classic SDXL models run fast, and there are thousands of community styles already built for them.
Video is the harder one on 12 gigs, but it is not impossible. You can run the small LTX video model. It does short clips nice and fast.
You can also run a squished version of Qwen 2.2, the 5 billion one. It gets you real 5-second clips on a humble card.
Even 3D works here. Tencent's Hunyuan 3D can turn a photo into a real textured model, something you could drop into a game, as long as you let it lean on your system memory.
And it is not only chat and pictures either. You can run Whisper. It turns any audio into clean text. Full transcription, completely offline. That one alone replaces a paid service.
You can run local translation too, and little models that read a document and answer questions about it. Genuinely, whatever the job is, there is a tool for the drawer.
So just sit with that for a second. On a card that costs a couple £100, you can run chat, coding, images, video, and 3D. All of it offline. All of it completely free.
It is honestly wild. Okay, next rung up. Bump to a 16 gig card. What actually changes?
More than people tell you. This is the tier everyone writes off as just a bit more room. It is not. It is where a whole class of model arrives.
Go on, because I have heard this called the boring middle.
Below 16 gigs, you are basically capped around 14 billion parameters. Once you count everything the model needs on top of its own weight.
And at 16 gigs, what opens up?
This is where the mixture of experts trick really pays off. Llama 4's 26 billion one only wakes up about 4 billion at a time, so it fits.
So it behaves like a big model, but it sits on the card like a much smaller one.
Exactly. But be careful here, because the dense models are a different story. A dense 27 billion is nearly 17 gigs of weights on its own. That one needs 24.
And the cards themselves, what are we actually talking about?
The cheapest new one is the 5060 Ti, but you have to get the 16 gig version. It also ships as an 8 gig card, and that is the one people buy by mistake.
And if you can stretch the 5070 Ti, same 16 gigs but a much wider memory bus, most people reckon it is the best value card in local AI right now.
The 5080 has 16 too, but you pay a lot more for the same memory. For AI specifically, the 70 Ti is the smarter buy.
On images, 16 gigs is where you stop compromising. Everything from the 12 gig list runs, just bigger and faster.
You can push proper high resolution. You can batch a few at once. And Flu's 2 Dev, squished down, actually fits with room to work.
Video is the real jump though. On 12 gigs you were doing small, short clips.
On 16, the big one 2.2 in its squished form gets you 720. Proper resolution, not a postage stamp.
And Hunyuan Video 1.5 fits too in its squished form. So does the distilled LTX 2.3, serious models on a mid-range card.
And 3D stops struggling. Remember Hunyuan 3D leaning on your system memory at 12 gigs? At 16, it just sits on the card.
So it is not the boring middle at all. It is where local AI stops feeling like a compromise, which brings us to the big one.
The 24 gig tier. This is the sweet spot. It is the card most serious local AI people actually own. Think the 3090 or the 4090.
This is where it stops being a toy. It starts genuinely replacing paid tools. Talk about the coding because this is the real headline.
So here you can run Qwen 3.6, the 27 billion version. And people are literally using this as a local replacement for paid coding assistance.
That is the sentence that matters. A model on your own machine, no subscription. And it can work across a whole code project. That was science fiction last year.
There is also a dedicated one. It is called Qwen 3 Coder. The 30 billion version, built purely for programming. If code is your main thing, that is your pick.
And here is a lovely detail. Ollama quietly runs a little server on your machine, so your own apps and scripts can talk to your models, exactly like a paid API, but completely free. And on images, 24 gigs unlocks the full Flux 2 Dev. This is top tier. Photo, reel, editing, the whole lot.
There is also Qwen Image. It is one of the strongest anywhere at one specific trick. Actually putting readable, correct text inside a picture.
Which sounds small until you have tried to make a poster with any other model, and it spells everything like a drunk toddler.
And this is where those LoRa files really pay off. Want every image in your own art style? Or your own character? LoRa. And every single picture comes out that way? And video finally gets properly good here. This is where Qwen 2.2 lives. The big 14 billion version. It is the quality leader for realistic motion and people.
There's also a lightweight one from Tencent called Hunyuan Video. It is brilliant at natural movement and faces, and there is a wild one from Lightrix.
The LTX models were the first with open weights to do sound and picture together in one pass. Closed models managed it earlier, but not ones you could download. 2.3 is the current one, 22 billion parameters, and it does 4K.
And here is the trick the pros actually use. You do not just type and pray, you generate a still image first, you feed that into the video model. Then you run one more pass to smooth and sharpen it.
One honest caveat on all local video though. The clips are still short. You are making about 5 seconds at a time, and stitching them together. Nobody is making a whole movie in one go yet.
That is fair enough, and 3D gets serious on 24 gigs too. There is a Microsoft model called Trellis 2. It turns a single photo into a proper game-ready 3D model, textures and all.
And if you just want speed, there is Stable Fast 3D from Stability. It spits out a usable mesh from a photo in seconds. Brilliant for knocking out quick game assets.
So the 24 gig card is the real dividing line. Below it, you are having fun. At it, you are genuinely doing professional work for free.
Which leaves the very top of the consumer ladder. And here is where I have to do the fact check we are known for.
Oh, go on then, let us hear it.
The flagship is the RTX 5090, 32 gigs of memory. That is the ceiling. There is nothing bigger in a consumer card.
And the bit people get wrong.
That it is new? It is not. It landed in January 2025. It is a year and a half old now.
Which in this game feels like a decade.
And nothing is replacing it this year. Nvidia are not shipping a new gaming card in 2026 at all. The next lot is 2027 at the earliest.
So that ceiling is not moving, which honestly makes planning easier. Buy in at your tier and it holds. So what does 32 actually buy you over 24?
On language models, it is not bigger models. It is better versions of the same ones.
Go on then, give us an example.
Take Qwen 3.6, the 27 billion one. Instead of the squished Q4KM, you run Q6 or Q8. Same model, sharper answers.
And the memory gets longer too. You can hand it a whole code project, and it holds all of it at once.
And the quiet luxury nobody mentions. You can keep 2 models loaded at the same time. a chat model, and an image model. Both live, no swapping.
On images, the headroom shows up as comfort. Flux 2 Dev runs without shuffling bits in and out, so you are not sat waiting.
And you can batch them. Generate 4 at once instead of 1, which genuinely changes how you work.
Video is where the extra room really tells. WAN 2.2, the 14 billion one at higher resolution, and longer clips before you run out.
You are still not making a feature film, but the motion is cleaner, and you get far fewer failed runs.
And LTX 2.3, the full version rather than the distilled one, has proper room to breathe up here.
And 3D. Trellis 2 needs 16 gigs as a floor, and it is happier with 24. On 32, it stops being tight at all.
And that is the theme of this whole tier, really. Nothing brand new unlocks, everything you already had just stops fighting you.
And it is worth being honest about the ceiling. There are some absolute monster models out there. DeepSeek 4, the big GLM ones, and Kimi.
And you cannot run those at home, full stop. Those need a rack of data center cards that cost more than a house. That is the real line between local and cloud.
But here is the thing. For the vast majority of what people actually do, the local models we listed are more than enough. And that gap is closing every single month.
And do not forget the quiet workhorses either. Little local embedding models let you build a private search over your own files and notes, with nothing ever leaving your machine. So let us tie a bow on it. Say someone is sitting there with a graphics card, and they want to start today. What is the actual move?
Step 1. Pick your runner. Ollama or LM Studio for anything text, and ComfyUI for anything visual. Get those installed first.
Step 2. Figure out your gigs. 8, 12, 16, 24, 32. That number tells you exactly which models on today's list you can grab.
Step 3. Download the right tool for each job. Grab a quant that fits your card, and keep them all in one library on that dedicated drive.
And if you want the shortcut on any of that, it is on the website, offthecloudai.com. Type in your graphics card and the model calculator tells you what fits.
And if you have a particular model in mind already, there is a calculator for that as well. You tell it the model, and it tells you the graphics card you need to run it.
And that is it, a full private offline AI studio. Chat, code, art, video, 3D all for the price of the electricity.
And the model you save today still works in 5 years. Exactly the same as it does now. It is truly yours to keep. Nobody can nerf it, meter it, or switch it off. The big companies want you to believe this stuff can only live in their cloud. On their meter, it absolutely does not have to.
There's an open model for almost anything now. You just have to know how to build the drawer, and now you do.
So go build your library, and we will catch you in the next one.